going on, guys? Hit Squad here again. Back at it with another video. In this video, I want to do an evaluation so far on the New York Giants. I think it's fair coming out of the bye that we could look at this team and see where we are at the moment and kind of compare it to where we were in the beginning of the year coming into the season. There are some players that I actually want to look at and put grades on that I think brings some of the biggest impact, if not the biggest impacts, to this New York Giants team, offensively and defensively. Now, before I get into this video, I wanted to quickly address something. Now, I was going to make a video in regards to Jordan Raanan's tweet yesterday. I saw other Giants content creators making it around the time that I was contemplating on making it. But I ended up not doing it, and I just want to quickly address that really quick. New York Giants content creators. Let me talk about me really quick because I can't speak for everybody, right? I started making these giant YouTube videos about 2 years ago. I started seeing Bad Dog. At that time, he wasn't doing what he's doing now. He was doing more trash talk videos in the TTC. But I started watching Bad Dog. I started watching Cop Pizzle. I started watching Kid Blue, Terra Belly, the whole effing show, Diggy for 546, NYG 31. There was a lot of people I was watching. I mean, even Chris the Entertainer when he first started out. There was a lot of people I was watching. I was making videos, and then I stopped for a year, and then I kind of came back this year and started doing it again. I started doing it because I didn't have any friends really to talk about New York Giants football with, let alone football at all. I love my friends to death, but they're just not into the sport like I am. And I was tired of, just clicking on Twitter or clicking on, Facebook or whatever and seeing these biased articles, even by New York Giants beat writers, and seeing how wrong the media is about my favorite football team. I think that we can all agree the media makes some trash points about the New York Giants football team and other football teams alike, which is why there's so many content creators out there. I like that I'm a part of this great journey and this great foundation that's being built, because I think that people come to YouTube to get unbiased thoughts and our opinions on their favorite football team and news and rumors surrounding it. So for Jordan Raanan to make an ignorant, and that's what it is, an ignorant statement like that, I lose my respect for him. He has credibility in terms of, being a beat writer. He works with the Giants. I get it. My respect is there, but my respect in terms of how I saw him, in terms of he was someone that I would get news from. He was someone that, back in the day I would quote. Now I just try to give my unbiased thoughts. I might quote the person that, I saw the article from, but all in all, Jordan Raanan, excuse me, he loses my respect. I thought that he made a very ignorant statement. Definitely went out, not just at Giants content creators, but just content creators in general talking about their favorite football team. Once you put something on the internet, it becomes public information. You can't get upset that people are giving their opinions on your articles or your rumors that you're stirring up. You can't get upset about that. But anyways, let's get into this video. That's all I wanted to say really quickly. Now, going into this year, right? I personally had high expectations for the offense. I was very suspect about this defense, considering, let's be real, how this New York Giants football team has been playing in the last couple years, especially defensively. We haven't been able to get the job done. This defense has not been good since 2016, which was, to me, a one-year fluke. And now seeing that this Giants team is coming together, this defense is really keeping us in games and keeping us competitive. This offense, as well as this offensive line, is coming together. There's some things to look at, and I think that it's fair to give an analysis and, give an analysis on the team thus far. So, coming out of the bye, let's take a look at this. The New York Giants, coming into this offseason, made some great signings, in my honest opinion, especially to the defensive side. I thought that we hit the nail on a lot of free agent signings, and I think that, these free agent signings that we have brought in, and players that we have brought back, have really made that much of a difference and stood out on this team. For instance, James Bradbury, who we got out of Carolina. Dave Gettleman drafted him. Uh, 30 tackles, 26 tackles as well. If you look, I'm looking up here because I wrote down some stats for you guys. 32 tackles, 26 solos. He has 3 interceptions. He has 14 passes defended. Now his longest play that he gave up was 19 yards. That's insane. That is insane. If he doesn't make the Pro Bowl this year, that is a problem. He is playing at an all-pro, Pro Bowl level. James Bradberry is easily the best defensive player we have on this team. And I don't care what no one says. That's my opinion. I really do think that week in and week out, he finds a way to shut down the opposing team's number one wide receiver and then some. James Bradberry is looking extremely good this year, and to me, this is an A-plus signing. I got to give him an A-plus because this is a big improvement over Janoris Jenkins, who Janoris Jenkins wasn't bad, but he also wasn't fully consistent. You would have games he would quit. You would have plays that he would quit. Perfect example. You go look at the Tampa Bay game last year, just to name one of the very many games. Janoris Jenkins easily made Mike Evans look like Randy Moss out here. James Bradberry wouldn't do that. James Bradberry played solid against Mike Evans this year. Now, granted, I understand that there was some plays that, he kind of gave up, but he bounced back from it. He looked very good. I like it. I love this James Bradberry signing. I think that he will go to the Pro Bowl. A-plus in my opinion. Now, let's go to Kyle Fackrell. Kyle Fackrell, he came over from Green Bay. There was ties, right, between him and Patrick Graham. Same with Blake Martinez. We saw that he had 10 sacks under Patrick Graham, and we got him on a cost-effective deal, which I liked. It was a one-year cost-effective deal, and, he's had 1 interception. That interception was in the Dallas game. Took that back for a touchdown. That was a nice play. He was in the right place at the right time more than anything, but still solid. I loved what I saw. He has 1 forced fumble. He has 3 sacks, 29 tackles, 19 solo, 6 tackles for loss, 8 QB hits. He's been pretty solid. This team, we don't have a number one edge rusher coming off the ball like every other team. You see that we're able to get pressure on the quarterback, but it's more of how Patrick Graham is drawing up this scheme. It's more on how, every week we're coming in with a different scheme. They're drawing up different ways to get to the quarterback, and you see that it's working. Kyle Fackrell, he does bring veteran leadership, and he does help out with that. I'm going to give him a B, though. I'm going to give him a B because I don't think that there was high expectations for Kyle Fackrell coming into the season. We hoped that, he could be a lightning in the bottle kind of a player, and we're slowly seeing that. He's looking pretty good. I don't think that, he's your day one coming off the edge player, but right now he is one of our best players coming off of the edge, and he's been our more consistent player coming off the edge. I like Kyle Fackrell. I think that it was a good signing. Again, I'm going to give it a B. Now, let's go to probably one of my favorite signings this offseason, and that is Blake Martinez. Blake Martinez has been easily our best linebacker since Antonio Pierce. Granted, that doesn't say much considering that we haven't been able to draft at that position very well. We haven't been able to address that position very well in the offseason up until this year. We tried with Alec Ogletree. Alec Ogletree, to me, was inconsistent, couldn't cover a cold. He was very wishy-washy, if you will. And Blake Martinez is a huge improvement over him. 91 tackles, 51 solo, 2 sacks, 1 interception. Blake Martinez, we knew coming into this year, was already a tackling machine. He's proving that he is that tackling machine, and right now leads our team in tackles. He is the commander on this defense, and I love it. I love it. I love how this team, especially on the defensive side, unifies around him. They really come together. They really listen to him. He takes charge. He's such a smart guy. You heard that coming into this season. He was very smart. Now, what I like is that Blake Martinez, I had questions on him in the coverage game, but he's looking pretty solid, right? He's looking pretty solid in that aspect. He's doing very good in the run game, which you love to see that as well. He's cleaning up the underneath, and I like that. I like that to where, we're not getting these long plays on the ground. The longest play was Boston Scott in the Philly game that we just had. But other than that, I got to give Blake Martinez an A+. That was an A+ signing by this organization. Patrick Graham is getting a lot out of his players, and you love to see it. You really do. Now, This one, right? Leonard Williams, our defensive tackle, in his mind, our defensive end. Leonard Williams, a lot of people, including myself, were very suspect with trading him last year. We weren't going anywhere. Dave Gettleman said they wanted to get a better look at him, even though they played in the same stadium. Like, you can't attend a Jets game, right? But yeah, they went out, they signed him. A lot of people were upset what we gave up for him. He had half a sack last year, so people were definitely upset. He wanted a lot of money, and it didn't work out. We ended up putting him on the franchise tag. But Leonard Williams is having a career year this year. Again, you could put that to Patrick Graham. You could put that he is looking for a contract, but 30 tackles, 13 solo, 5 sacks. I think he leads his team in sacks right now. He should have more. He's getting double teamed now. You're seeing, the promise that he was supposed to have coming out of college. He was supposed to be this dominant defensive lineman that could get to the quarterback, almost Aaron Donald-esque, almost. But he's coming around very well. He's getting to the QB. He's putting pressure. He's helping out in the run game, which he did help out in the run game last year as well. But Leonard Williams is coming along. I also have been on record as saying I would not re-sign Leonard Williams due to the fact of how much money he wants. I would much rather bring in Dalvin Tomlinson and then focus on addressing that piece in the draft or maybe in free agency because Austin Johnson is coming along pretty well. We still have B.J. Hill, who B.J. Hill is a solid player, but he just doesn't get the opportunities that he had under Pat Shermer. Now, I wouldn't bring him back, but I do have to give credit where credit is due. I'm going to give him a B plus because I do think that he is playing for a contract. How is he going to play when he gets his money? We don't know. We've seen what he looks like having a half-sack season, but I'm very impressed with Leonard Williams. He's doing good. He's having a career year. He could be a Pro Bowler this year, but I'm not really banking on it. B plus for Leonard Williams. That was a good re-signing. Logan Ryan. Logan Ryan, man. The fact that we were able to get James Bradberry and Logan Ryan the same offseason on 2 cost-effective deals, I got to tip my hat off to Dave Gettleman in this organization. Logan Ryan was sought to be the best free agent out there in terms of on the defensive side, and nobody really picked him up. You could do that to the fact that, he wanted a high salary. He wanted to switch over to safety. I think this is his first year playing safety. And look, he's been doing solid. I think the Giants should bring him back. I think that they will bring him back. He's definitely standing out on this defense. His veteran leadership is helping out our young guys. He's helping out Jabril Peppers. He had 1 interception. He's had 1 sack. He's had 57 tackles, 45 solo. He's looking really good, guys. He's looking really good, and he's looking like a player worth bringing back. I'm excited to see what him, Xavier McKinney, and Jabril Peppers coming back. Y'all can't see that, but that's chills, my man. That's freaking chills. I am stoked to see what these 3 safeties are going to look like on the field. I'm excited to see what Patrick Graham is going to do with this defense once Xavier McKinney comes back. I think that this is going to take us to the next level. Now, I think that we're headed in the direction where we're supposed to be, but we're not there yet, guys. Logan Ryan easily is one of our best defensive players. He's coming along. He's looking really solid for us. I wouldn't be surprised if he has another 1 or 2 picks this year because he should have more than 1 interception. But granted, I'll take it. He's looking really good. I'm very excited to see what he does, and hopefully the New York Giants can bring him back. Now, lastly, I want to look at Daniel Jones, right? I believe Daniel Jones can be our franchise guy. I haven't once hopped off of the Daniel Jones trade. I haven't once jumped on Tank for Trevor. I thought that was BS. I know that he hasn't been playing well. Look. I can't give Daniel Jones any excuses. He hasn't been playing well. He hasn't been looking too good. But in recent weeks, he's been looking pretty solid. He hasn't turned the ball over in 2 weeks. You hope that could continue on. I think that will continue on in the Bengals game. But he has 2,122 yards, 8 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. His longest pass of the year was that 50-yard pass to Austin Mack in Washington. And he has a 63 percentage completion rate. But Daniel Jones hasn't really lived up to expectations that I thought he was going to live up to. I thought that, looking at Jason Garrett, historically, he gets the most out of his QBs. Hence, Tony Romo, Dak Prescott. His Air Coryell scheme is pretty QB friendly. But you've noticed that he hasn't been playing very good. I think things are changing though, because I do think that he's getting a better grip of the offense. I think that, he's doing a lot better in terms of checking the defenses, because he wasn't doing that before, guys. He wasn't really checking the defenses too well. He wasn't having a good understanding of the defense, and you're seeing him grow. You're seeing him grow week in and week out. And I think that, oh, we got some lighting issues. I think that week in and week out, that he can be our franchise guy. I want to see him have a better game. I want to see him have a better season. I think that every game is an evaluation game for this team, but primarily for Daniel Jones. Remember, Daniel Jones was not a Joe Judge guy, and if they go in a different direction with the general manager, he's not that general manager's guy. But I do think that Daniel Jones can be our franchise guy, and I think that he will in the end. I want to see Daniel Jones play better. The grade I have to give him, I got to give him a C plus. I know that he's been playing fairly well the last 2 weeks, but there's more to the season than 2 weeks. When I look at the rest of the season, I know that he's a risk taker. I like that. I like that he wants to make a play on every play, but I need my QB to be a little bit smarter. He has to be better at protecting the ball, which he has been. I've been on record of saying that I think that he'll cut his fumbles in half. If he could stick that route to how he's playing now, he'll definitely exceed that. But I'm very excited to see the growth of Daniel Jones. Now, overall, what are my thoughts on this team? I think that we're headed in the right direction. I think that we have the highest ceiling right now. I don't believe in Dallas. I don't believe in Washington. Philly is coming down fast like a meteor out of the sky. And I think that Joe Judge is having this team prepared week in and week out. We're seeing this team grow. We're seeing this team play better. When I look at it, who has the best defense in the NFC East? In my honest opinion, not to be a homer, I think that's the New York Giants. I think that we're playing very competitive in games that we shouldn't be playing competitive. Outside of that San Francisco 49ers game, we've been doing very solid. Realistically, we should have a better grade than, a better win percentage than what we have right now. We should have a better record. We don't. Right now, we're sitting at 3-7. I think we'll be 4-7 going into next week. But overall, I think this team is headed in the right direction. We've been playing confident. We've been playing hard-nosed football, which is what Joe Judge said coming into this year that he wanted to develop. He's developing a culture which we have not had since Tom Coughlin. We've had a lot of stopgap GMs, we have a lot of stopgap head coaches and coaching staffs, and I think that this is going to be a coaching staff that stays here. I really do think that. I love what I'm seeing. This Joe Judge staff is getting the most out of their players, especially Patrick Graham. Hopefully, Jason Garrett can get this offense rolling, because I think that this offense has a lot of potential. We're not where we're supposed to be but this team is headed in the right direction, Giants fans. Be excited. There's a lot to be excited about, especially going into next year. This team could be competitive. Who knows? We'll see what happens going into December. We could be playing in the playoffs. We could be sitting on the couch. Who knows? We could be sitting on the couch watching the Giants play in the playoffs. Think about that. This is Brooklyn Hit Squad. I know I started a little bit in this video. I don't really give a damn. I'm having a good time. You guys take it easy, man. See you on the